Hi there, everyone. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about OCR software today. And what OCR software is OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition, and it's exactly really what it sounds like. It's a document scanner that can then read the text that is on the document. It's fairly straightforward. The one that I'm using, it's from Define Studio, PhotoScan OCR Code Scanner. It's free on the Microsoft Store, so it took me 2 seconds to find, 2 seconds to download and start using. Very easy. There's a number of other free OCR software apps out there, some built into Microsoft, um, others where you would have to download. Like I said, this one was free and easy to find. Adobe has one if you're looking for a bit more of a larger company. Adobe, this one says that it's free for iPhones and Apple products, but I've heard actually like it's more of a monthly subscription thing or something like that. So your results may vary with Adobe. But again, there's a wide range of OCR software out there, so plenty to choose from, and plenty of places a teacher could find it. I have found for the uses of this, I think it would be best to use for a student with dyslexia, a student who is reading below grade level, or a student that maybe even like poor eyesight and you have like small text on a page. And I say like reading below grade level because I was thinking that if you're teaching, a science unit and you're teaching with that content specific vocabulary, that can be tough for a student to follow along if they're decoding the words and learning the content. That's just a lot of mental activity. This can take the burden of decoding the words and just read the science content to them. And so they can focus more on just taking in the content as opposed to decoding and content. So that's those are the main uses: the dyslexia, poor eyesight, reading below grade level. Those are all ways of using this. There are some limitations with this, and I can actually show you right now. So this is also a quick demonstration, but this one isn't the full one. So one of the limitations I've found is that for a graphic novel, or basically hard to read font, the particular program that I'm using is not good at picking it up. So I can show you really quickly. All I did was take a picture of the page, I copy the image from Google Photos, and in here it says paste photo. I paste a photo and it automatically generates what it thinks it's reading. But as you can see, this is it's illegible, or even if you're listening to it, it's not comprehensible. So that's largely due to the font and even kind of it being out of order. But they knew that this was one of the limitations of it. So right here, I can just change it. I can type in what it says. Once there had been a river here. And I can type that in and it will read it. So I just click the speech button and it'll read it right there. And it actually even has a handy little save file if I want to save it as a little audio file. So it's a solid program and it's aware of its limitations and can compensate for them. Um, what else do I need to talk about? Oh, so that's a major limitation. So, but if you're teaching a student with dyslexia or a student who is reading below grade level or with poor eyesight, you're going to be using fonts that is easier to read anyways, so it should be working in this program. Like I'm not going to hand wingdings to a student with dyslexia and expect them to, to decipher the word. So you're already going to be using easier to read fonts, which would then in turn help the OCR program to read it and help the student read it. The cost, it's free. It's free. There are paid ones that offer maybe a little, they might be able to read funkier fonts and they might have a different voice option. This one is just robot voice. Um, and the free ones tend to just have that creepy robot voice. So if you're looking for a little bit more options, a little bit better reading on the part of the scanner, then you might be looking at the paid options. So for a quicker demonstration, I wanted to show you, so this was the limitation demonstration, right, with this guy. But I have a couple of pictures of pages here. Um, this one is the picture from the Golden Compass, and I can show you very quickly. So again, I copy the image, I come over here, I paste the photo. Oh no, you did work before. Oh, it's because. So it can't decipher it if it's rotated incorrectly, but they have a handy little rotate tool here. So potentially a limitation or just something to show your student. So quickly, right off the bat, you'll see, so the character's name is Lyra. It can't pick it up because of the slightly serifed font. But again, I can just type it in here and fix it for it. And it will be generally able to read. Again, this is a book with a lot of funky words to it, so I'd be interested to see how it could read the word alethiometer, because that's tough even for me to say. But so I just put this text into here, and I don't know if you guys will hear this. So that's just a simpler demonstration, but for a text, so I pulled a page from this tiny book right here. It's got a lot of small font on it, and I can copy the image, I can go into here, paste the photo, rotate it. I probably should have taken a better photo to make sure I didn't have to rotate it. But it immediately generates all the text, and I can have it speak to me. And it can read it very simply. What I like too is that it's reading it at a decent clip. It's not too fast. It's also not dragging along. And again, I can save this whole page as an audio file. I'm not going to, but I actually wonder as an MPEG. Okay, but you can save it as an audio file. So theoretically, you could you might not even need a student to have this app. I could just record the page and then have them follow along in the text and have the maybe they're listening to it with some headphones. So there are a variety of ways of using this program. The only issue, as you saw, it takes a couple of steps, especially to use this one since it's on the desktop. But if I had it on either my phone or on an iPad, which again, there's a variety of options for that, there's that they don't need that extra step of uploading the photo to Google Photos. I had to take that step because I'm using a desktop version. Though, again, I could have taken a photo with the webcam, but I didn't want to because it's awkward to manipulate the laptop and hold a book at the same time. So I decided against that for this scenario. Um, so I walked you through a demonstration of it. We talked a little bit about the scenario. So for the strengths, I really think that this is a simple software to use that allows for a bit more of an inclusive classroom experience. Students can use it with headphones. They could use this at home. They can use it on their iPads, or even if they felt like using a laptop to try to take some pictures, they could do that. So there's a lot of different ways of using, there's a lot of different options for using OCR, and it provides students with a simpler way of reading some difficult texts. The weaknesses, it's an extra thing for a student to have to learn. Yes, it's a helpful tool, and personally, I found it relatively easy to use, but it's still another thing that you're asking a student to learn, and not always will I be there to help them with the program. And maybe you have to help the parent learn it. So it while it does help, it is another thing that the student has to learn. And as you can see with this layout, it's not colorful. It's not necessarily like, yes, the icons, okay, I can see that this looks like a clipboard and it says paste photo when I scroll over it. And this says rotate. So while it uses icons and pictures to help you navigate, it's not visually pleasing. It's just black and white. But again, easier to see black and white, but it's, I'm thinking about like the younger students where it's big, bright buttons that they press and it does the thing that the button looks like. Whereas with this one, they still have a floppy disk for the save button. So it's a little bit, again, it would just be another thing for that the student would have to use. I would certainly, maybe not this specific tool since it's focused on the desktop, but I would definitely use an OCR program in the classroom. Like I said, it's easy to use on an iPad. I can use it on my phone. I can save audio files and send those to students. It's got the sorry, I clicked the wrong button. It's got the picture right there, and it's got the text right here. And most of the other programs work like that, where here's the picture, here's the reading. So it's easy to follow along. It's again, it uses the pictures, so it's kind of intuitive. So I would definitely use this program in the classroom. So I hope that this demonstration was helpful for you. I highly recommend playing around with some of them because again, there's a bunch of free ones. They're easy to find, they're easy to download, and they're easy to hop into. And I think that it would really benefit a lot of students. Thanks.